Oh, hi. You've arrived just in time. Hang on a second, actually. Hello again. Yeah, you have arrived just in time. I am revisiting an old scene. This also proves that I have used Blender before. So I never put this out anywhere. I want to get this finished. I was never quite happy enough. I did this a while ago. Does it say what year? No? I didn't put current year. I put just something on it. 1982 Aperture Science. That's what I put on there. This reminds me, man, I love the viewport in Blender. It's so good. Look at it. So pretty. So sharp. Yeah, proof that I have used Blender before, because here we are, Blender scene. So yeah, I wanted to make a, if you've played Portal 2, I love Portal 2, I wanted to make a GLaDOS potato, right? But really high fidelity, high-ish fidelity GLaDOS potato. But yeah, I never, in fact, can I have a render available? I think I do. Where is it? Come on, load the full. This is off screen. I'm waiting for to load the full res. Come on, hurry up. How's your day going? Good. Good. Right, let's have a look. So yeah, it's not loaded in full resolution. I'm having network problems at the minute, but actually should probably keep an eye on the stream. Yeah, but here is a version of the render, quite low resolution. Come on, load in, you sausage. Do I have a image of the render? Or I just got that PSD. I don't have Photoshop installed at the minute. I don't think I do. Should we see if we can get it running in Eevee? I've not opened this up and the files have moved, so we'll see what happens. Let's click the button and we'll see. I don't have enough Blender for Blender supports the new GPUs. Yeah. So on the internet, there is no GLaDOS Potato 3D. Yeah, here we go. So this is probably like the only, this is a reference for me as well. I used reference from the original game. But I was like, what if the GLaDOS potato were a real potato? And I didn't quite get there, but it was all right. Yeah, so this is about the highest fidelity one that exists. There's one other render line around on the internet somewhere. Yeah, and I wanted to do better than that. So I think that's the original model, I think. And then there's a render, I think it might be this one. No. That's quite fun though, I quite like that. That's pretty cool. That's not the one, I've not seen that one before. There must be another one. Where was it? There's a render. Anyway, there's a render knocking about. Yeah. So I thought, I'd have a go. Oh, that kind of works, you know, actually. The table texture's missing, but the main thing I need is this potato material, because I actually got, oh dear, look at the back of it. I actually got a friend of mine to sculpt me a potato, because I'm a terrible sculptor, and I was like, can you paint me a potato material? And because he's a genius, I'm a hack, he's a proper artist, he just whipped up this thing that looks like a real potato incredibly quickly, and I was like, I don't know how you did this, I don't want to know how you did this, but gimme. So yeah, anyway, I want to do this again. I'm only hanging around for a little while today, probably like 20 minutes or so, but we'll see how far we get. I want to redo this. So basically I budged this together between, this is one of those projects where this is towards the end of my time using a lot of Blender, because let's go over to this table won't work. Let's just get rid of that plane. Where are you? Plane. do I have... I don't know what key map I've got attached. Let's just do this. So we won't go to the real guy. We'll go over here. And we'll see. We will see if Cycles can do this. Yeah, this is like towards the end of my time trying to really use... Blender in earnest, because I had problems with this scene at the time. Cycles didn't have light linking, which made it annoying, because we've got this sort of like, let's go back to my to a crap version of my render. Let's go to we're in 3D potato. Yeah, so going back to this quickly, to get this light effect, which still isn't correct, but to get this light effect to work well in Cycles was really annoying. So I had to do a lot of it in comp, and I think, if memory serves, I did a couple of passes with Cycles, which was underwhelming, and then I did another one with, what's called again? The other renderer, what was it? It's like a physically accurate, I should know the name of this. It's a Blender physically accurate, like sort of like spectral renderer that's not very popular. It's really quite good for certain stuff. But anyway, it's a mixture of those two render passes, smushed together. I think I did it in Photoshop actually, because a lot of it wasn't even like proper compositing. It was like literally getting two beauty renders and painting out and masking out certain bits of it. Yeah. Actually, see if we can. No, probably better open it. That's fine. Come on, let's see if Cycles can do it, and we'll see if the Cycles one, how that looks compared to this. But I was never happy with the staging of the scene. It was quite lazily done. I was getting frustrated with Cycles, and I think if this gets running, you might be able to see the extent to which the Cycles render might underwhelm. So I sort of like finished it quickly. I sort of did a bit, staged a scene, put it on a table very quickly, did a render, and then kind of gave up. And then not long afterwards, I started working at a company where we're doing lots of like events stuff. So I wasn't doing that much for 3D in my like day job at the time, but I moved to a company shortly after this where I was. This is 2023, and yeah, I had to do a lot more 3D in my day job again. And I'd cultivated my own little Blender, very sort of not complex, but like my own specific Blender setup, right? Sort of a heavily modified version of Blender 2.8, and that did not cut it. And I was like, I had problems with like geometry handling, stuff like that. So I moved to like newer versions of Blender at the time. Again, the geometry handling sucked. The workflow was still quite slow. I was still struggling with Cycles, and it's that thing of like, unless you're really committed, intentionally committed to Blender, then yeah, you're going to get on with those things. But if you're not from a Blender background and you've used sort of like stuff that works a bit more better, and that's around the time I discovered that you could run. So I left Modo, which is my major platform, my major 3D app for forever, because on a project I needed to render something much quicker than I could, because I used to use a CPU renderer, and the renders were taking like, this is in 2021 I think, the renders were taking 45 minutes each. So then I was like, let's rebuild this in, I've heard Cycles is fast, let's rebuild in Blender. And the Blender's renders like in Cycles didn't look quite as good, but they took, and I didn't really know Cycles at the time, so the fact they looked kind of okay at all was a bit of a miracle. They looked good enough compared to what I'd prepared in Modo, and they rendered in like seconds, maybe a minute or two, right? So that was such a huge thing. I was like, I need a GPU render in my life. And then, so that's what made me use Blender for a while anyway. And then when I found out that newer versions of Modo supported Octane, which I also didn't know, but I got Octane curious. I went back into Modo, loaded up with Octane, and immediately fell in love with Octane, and then dumped Blender. So, and because I was using it daily, right? At this point, I was working every day, doing loads of 3D stuff. So the company used to do like, it was like a lot of sort of event stuff, like immersive mixed reality stuff. So like, which sounds fancy than it actually was, but things like you'd work on like exhibits in museums and stuff, and be like, you do previs for that, and also the actual. It was still product design. It was designing like applications and like little, you know, experiences for like the screens at museums or like a stall or whatever. And so a lot of that work was either like After Effects 3D plus like I was hired as like a UX person that was doing that. Anyway, this is taking such a long time. That whole loading render kernels may take a few minutes first time. I think that might be because I've just updated my drivers. I've moved to the Studio Ready driver, whatever it's called, the production driver for NVIDIA. So for some reason, Cycles is taking 1 billion years to do anything. So we're just going to have to wait. But yeah, this is like one of the. But before I moved to this company, like those straws piling up on the back of the camel of mode of Blender, and this again was like one of the last projects I did in it. When was that? Well, oh, this is loading full resolution. Fine. Yeah, so here's the render I produced, and there's little issues here. So we've got some like funky. Non-planar. I think it's like I did this with like booleans or something. So yeah, I want to revisit this, do a better version of this. Not saying it'll be photoreal in terms of like the degree of realism here. I don't think it's a million miles off where I think it'd stand as like probably one of the better, if not the best, 3D GLaDOS potato out there for what it's worth. All of those things where like you would want it to be photoreal, right? I don't know if that'd be fun. Would that be fun? I'm not sure that'd be fun. Well, anyway, I want to stage something better. I want to do a better scene. I want to do it in Octane because we've got the two sort of like hero elements. We've got lots of glossy things, right? With glossy plastics and metals and stuff. These are kind of weaknesses in Cycles and massive strengths in Octane. Although the last few days I've been heavily dicking around with Redshift, and the more I use Redshift, the more I like Redshift. I think Redshift is. I was Redshift curious to start with, and now I think Redshift is kind of great. It's pretty damn good. Come on, is this? There we go! Hooray! What's that in the background? Is this my HDR not being in? That's fine. Can I remember how to load HDRs in? What have we got? Moonless Golf something. I think I have like a set of go-to HDRs I always use. Give me a second. Yeah, I have like a go-to grab bag of HDRs I always use for stuff. I don't know why. I have like a handful of them. And like they're always abstract. They're not always abstract, but a lot of them are sort of abstract things that just do nice light. Oh, here we go. You can see here, right? So this is what I was saying before. Oh, just literally closed down that image. Damn. But yeah, this is the lighting that comes straight out of Cycles, which I find to be bad. Although, yeah, we haven't got the HDR in, but we can see, like, how have I set this? I can't remember the setup for this. What was it? Let's just give me a second. Let's pull in the HDR, and then I will, yeah, let's just do that. And then, oh, so yeah, I've got like it's off screen. I have like a thing called Eagle I use a lot, which is like, I'm having that, like my network's been very slow today, but it's like a Adobe Bridge on crack, basically, and all my image assets get stored in there. But where I have a server in my living room, which has all the crap on it, but it kind of sucks anyway. But today I have bad internet, or bad network, so I'm waiting a long time for things to happen. It's very annoying. Do I have any other HDRs locally that I can use? Yeah, right now I just got this screen saying almost there, waiting for it to load. It's very fun. So hang on, and if I get a second, I will bring up the. Let's cancel that for now. I'll bring up the render again, or the preview for that render again. Also, weirdly, unrelatedly, maybe it's what made you think of it, is I'm currently downloading Half-Life 2 RTX because I've just got a new GPU. I'm not a huge gamer, but like I like playing video games sometimes, you know. And but I just bought a new GPU and I've not played a game on it yet. I think I very briefly booted up Cyberpunk because in my previous GPU I couldn't have ray tracing on and have it run, and now I can. I can run it at like any frame rate. It's pretty cool. Is this actually loading? This is taking for. I'm really sorry about this. This is taking forever. Do I have any other like just random HDR lying around? On my local machine. Normally this isn't this slow. I don't think I do on my local computer. So yeah, normally I run these. So oh, what's that? Hey, it's just loaded in. So what we got? Golf. My golf guy. I know this one. So yeah, this is Eagle basically. So yeah, inside C4D I load these in, but when I'm not using that, I just have this thing. It's basically like a network share, and it just acts like it's all searchable and taggable and that kind of stuff. So, do I have my Moonless Golf guy? If not, I'll just use a different one. You can use your imagination. The thing is, I normally run this. This normally loads quite quickly, but again, I've got very bad internet today. So normally I'd search as well, but I'm a bit scared to do that because it might. Oh, there, Moon's Golf. Here we go. Here we go. Give me a second. I'm just going to play this safe, and oh, come on. I'm just going to play this safe, and I'm going to copy it to my local machine first, and then run it because I think with the state of my network, I'm not going to be able to just load this straight off the network today. Moonless Golf. For the record, well, you can see it in a minute. So if I go into here, copy file, and then I'm going to go there. I'm going to put it on my desktop. Oh my god! Did I mention I hate Windows? Did I mention that? How big is this file? 204 megabytes. That's alright. So yeah, how many lots? I've got about. I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I've got about 500. I think 500 environments. Is that it? What's my count there? Nope, my network's running so slow that Eagle won't even. It's not having time. I have 677. Is that too many? Is that too many? One thing that did bulk those numbers up actually was a while ago when the because I like lighting things with HDRs, right? Some things need direct lighting, but if I can get away with it, I always like with HDR. There we go. I always like the HDRs. Just because, is there like what's missing here? What have we got? Face, let's go to object. Okay, so I'm missing some sort of material there. Whatever, let's get rid of that for now. Yeah, so, here we go. This is like, so let's go back to, just wait for this to take about 20 years to load now. The resources library inside Eagle takes longer to load because it's got more stuff in it. So it's got reference photos, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, so like I like to light with HDRs if I can, but I like to have a lot of different ones because you get some nice unexpected lighting. There's a few go-tos that I like. This Moonless Golf guy, which I don't know why I like it so much. I don't know where I got it. I think it might be like an open one, but yeah, it's just like literally, it's just got some little firefly bits and yeah, just the lighting's quite interesting in this one, so I use this one a lot. For like darker scenes, it's quite nice. I don't know why I like it. I just really like it. and you can't stop me from liking it. So there's some sort of scratch mat missing from there. That's fine. So yeah, the point is today I'm going to get this out of Blender. I'm just talking at the minute, I'm just waffling. But yeah, I'm going to get this out of Blender, and then we're going to redo this. So yeah, here is the render from this, and you can see how much work I've had to do compared to what comes straight out of Cycles. And at this point, I've been using it quite a lot. And yeah, I just could never. It's literally like when it comes to things like I like to do a lot of product shots and stuff like that. So when it comes to when it comes to like, can I open this in Krita? Will that work? I just want to see how much work I actually had to do to get this fucking thing working. Let's go back to desktop. Yeah, I had to restart a new trial for Adobe today. Very, very upsetting. I do hate Adobe. They are the worst. I say that I pay Maxon money at the minute as well, so like, I mean it. Maxon are okay. People say they're bad, but they're not too bad. Yeah, so the idea of today is I'm going to get this out of Blender and then rebuild all the materials and then stage a nicer scene, maybe fix some stuff inside here. Like, yeah, we can zoom in now, we can see there's this jank going on here. Is this my, oh, damn it. Yeah, so we've got like some quite lazy modeling here. If you want to see some quality modeling, this is not the right YouTube channel to be on. I don't think I made these crocodile clips. I think I found them somewhere. I think I made these little snappy things. And then yeah, these just right now these little sort of pin things just terminate straight into the front of the little chassis. So I might redo that. And then it's mostly the light. All of the light stuff just behaves really, really crappily. So. And you have to comp stuff, you have to always fix loads of stuff in comp, but like, there's a limit. I think, I remember being very annoyed with this, very frustrated. What's LuxCore? The other one is called LuxCore. So it's a straight up mix between, I think a pretty much unusable LuxCore render, a pretty much unusable LuxCore render that had good lighting around the eye, and then the rest of this which had some benefits, but I think it's very much a manual, like just almost half that render I think is basically a painting, right? So I don't want to be doing that as much. So yeah, but the main thing is getting this potato texture. So the one that's actually loaded in, which is good, because I haven't opened this in a while. And I think of a nicer way to stage this. But yeah, what else could do some work on here? Some of that. I think I'm doing this. This is an old habit, an old habit that dies hard. Back in the Modo days, in the CPU renderer, it updates on the mouse, so it renders progressively like this. And at the time, no renders really did that. Way back when. It's a really great renderer, to be honest. It's awesome. It's just obviously slow because it's on the CPU, but it's dependable, and it's for a CPU render, it's pretty fast as well, to be fair, but it looks great. Beautiful renderer. And yeah, but it used to update on the mouse. So what you do, find yourself like navigating around, and then if you want to get a bit more detail on something, instead of having, you could do render regions, but if you want a specific area to clean up fast, you just wiggle your mouse underneath it and it would clean up. It was really cool. Can I show you? Oh, I can show you. Let's just turn off this, actually. It's not hammer the computer. Can I demonstrate this under the mouse update thing? I'm going to head off at 25 past in 10 minutes time. Basically, the thing I was going to do on the stream I've kind of already done. I've established that I've got my potato, because that's the only thing I can't really replace on here is that potato mat, so that's good. I'll see if I can get an FBX out of this and get it into something else. Come on. You're shy. Yeah, because I'd like to actually show this off. I thought it was a fun idea. I had a lot of fun making it. I had a lot of fun modelling it. I didn't have as much fun rendering it. Some very strange geometric additions to my potato there that I don't understand. I might just, yeah, whatever, we'll see. Right, so we'll go into render. Let's just make it, let's add a thing first. Let's go and just add a sphere and a teapot. Let's be fancy. There we go, sphere of teapot, look at that. Whoa, sub D, sub D. There we go, wonderful. And this will happen very quickly, but yeah, if you've got like, so there's an option under here and it says update under mouse. So let's just do a more complex material here. Let's just like let's make this into like glass. I've not used this in a long time, so we'll just remember if we 1.5 and then we'll just load in whatever environment. There we go. So yeah, it's taking a little longer to load now, but if I wiggle my mouse, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Let's turn on like, let's put on some dispersion. If you've used Modo, you should be very sad that this application is kind of dying at the moment, because it's, here we go, it's a much slower thing. So you watch this, if I just paint, and it won't stop. So the preview renderer Modo will keep going forever, right? So I can decide, oh, I want a bit more detail here. Can you see it cleaning up under the mouse? Let's do this edge. And you sort of, I used to miss doing this, just painting renders. But you can either fire up a real render, or you can just use this preview renderer, and you can set it to just never stop, right? So it either meets the threshold that you've got, or you can leave it preview rendering forever, and it will go way beyond, just keep firing rays indefinitely. I just love the look of this renderer still, you know? It's, and we are streaming, and I'm running Blender in the background. This is, on the CPU, this is a CPU renderer. Right? CPU renderers don't do this, or do they? I don't know. I'm out of the loop with CPU rendering, but it feels like and again, like the results you get out of this render, they're absolutely insane. Like, so there's a thing with Modo has always been used quite a lot in like high-end product shot stuff, and some of the most beautiful renders come out of this engine. It's still probably my favorite render engine. It's got quirks like every engine does, but the quality of light that comes out of it is just awesome. It's a little bit like, some of its methodology is a little bit old school now. They actually tried to replace this with a GPU renderer, which I've only used a little bit. It's called Empath, and it sucked. So like very quickly, I just switched to it. Let's do this in Octane and see the difference. There we go. And yeah, obviously that's quite a lot quicker in Octane. That's crazy, look at that. That dispersion's crazy. Yeah, so Octane's pretty smart, and like it'll try and interpret, so especially in Modo, it'll interpret the default Modo texture. So just start working straight away. So if I set this to like, without touching, so if I decide I don't want this to be, or make this like, I don't know, absorption color, red, right? It should, give it a second, reload. I think I've set an absorption distance in Modo, don't I? Yeah, let's have a look. Do I remember this? Material transparency, absorption distance 0.1 meters. You've got to go easy on me. I don't really remember how to use the Modo render. I haven't used it in like 5 years really. But if I do this in, let's not do this in Octane. Why would I do it in Octane? Is that going to work? Right. It's interesting actually. I'm just waffling for a second. The way. Dispersion, whatever, transparent. Where's my absorption? There we go. Absorption amount only. Is there a different? Can we do like principled? There we go. This might be a bit more familiar. Nope. Transparent match of current color, material ref. Where's my absorption in here? It's still there. Huh. Density 50. I don't remember how this works in here. Absorption amount. Okay, and then we just, so absorption, is that like, which way round is that? Where are we? Where was it? Absorption color, absorption amount 100. Density. That should be it, right? Am I going crazy? Is that like an absorption weight? What is that? Let's just go back to Physically based. This is what I used to use most of the time. Yeah, absorption amount 50%. Absorption distance. I used to have. Wait. Let's make that a meter. 0.05 2 millimeters. Just bring that down. Well, I clearly don't remember how that works. What was I trying to do anyway? I don't remember what I was trying to do. Yeah, but like the way... Okay, yeah, so the last bit of waffle I'll do. It'd be a crazy shame if Modo died. It probably will. I know there's people in the community at the minute are trying to save it, but there's... in some sort of semi-futile attempt to try and convince the Foundry to make it go open source, but... yeah, Modo's a seriously awesome piece of kit. And yeah, one thing that a lot of people like, I don't love, actually, but a lot of people do, is, it's called Teapot, is how this works, right? This is how material assignment works inside Modo. So, previously, if I turn this off, it's like you're working in reverse, right? From like, so we have what's called the shader tree, right? So, what I've just done is just delete this. So let's get rid of that. So I've just changed, there's a base material, right? No base shader for everything. So if I have nothing set, or no selection set, it will just apply this material to everything. So if I select, this is a real viewport, by the way, so I can just select this, press M, which says polygon set material in Modo. If one thing's selected, everything's selected. So just by clicking on the teapot, it will infer to all of the polygons underneath. So I created what's called a polygon set material, which basically creates like a material mask. So almost like, imagine if everything is a mask, right? So when you do polygon materials in any other application, you're doing that everywhere. There's like a few different ways to set it, but you can just do polygon sets for everything, right? Or that could be like a region. I can come to here. If I come out of the viewport and go to here, and I just do like these 3 polygons, press M, because it says teapot, now that just has a teapot material. It's really fast. And yeah, but also like I can have one thing set and have them override other things, and basically build this up in reverse. So if I have like the rest of this thing, I call this one like, I don't know, Gary, then I've got a Gary material, which is now isolated. So if I change the diffuse color, then we've got Gary and we've got teapot. But if we bring a new item into the scene, which I will do thusly, with this donut, look at him, wonderful, where he's got nothing set to him. He just inherits that base glass, right? So that's how that works. And let's just put them in sub D. Also, doing subdivision surfaces, you press Shift Tab. You can toggle between Shift D. Yeah, like I've been using Cinema 4D recently, and as much as I really like it in places, I don't know, man. I see a future, an alternative. Alternate history where Modo has been better looked after and has better adoption. Lots of mistakes were made with this application. It's very sad. But what's my point here? It's all diversions. This gives me excuses to talk to myself because no one watches these. It's fine. Anyway, right, yeah. So let's just see if. In fact, should we just? No, I'll do it in C4D. Right, so if I just do export, and we'll see if anything works. Export, there we go. For books, and then we'll just do that potato for books, and then we'll just open up. 1 second. So speedy. But yeah, I do love the viewport. I do adore the viewport in Blender. It's like one of the best things it does. The viewport's just stunning. It's like so fluid and so crisp. Again, if you give it low amounts of geometry, it runs great. With high geo scenes, it sucks. It's so bad. It's so bad. Does that just stop? That just stopped. That's fine. You don't see that. I can just stop, can't it? Right. See if I open. There it is. So we'll just see. We'll just do merge, and then we'll merge in this potato. Is that FBX? Guide of scene 002. There we go. And we'll see how that loads in. Yeah, let's just load in materials. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so although I've been playing with the fuck? Alright. Yeah, although I've been playing with Redshift a bunch recently. Is that 2 potatoes? What's that? Potato uncut. Fancy. Let's just see. Let's just turn that off, Let's just see what we've got. Let's have a look. What's our material like? Okay, so potato. What have you got? What do you got? Algorithm. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Let's go back into Blendier, and then we'll grab this potato, and then, oh shit, what is, I've forgotten how to zoom out. Is it that? Wait, hang on. It's not alt. It's, I thought it was shift. I can't remember. Anyway, that's my potato. So base color, TT checker metallic. What is all this? What is this? Okay. Checkerboard. Oh, okay. There's more going on here. Mapping. Strange. Yeah, there's that. So that must be bundled. Can I remember how to do that? That should be under I thought it was under here. Or is it in here? View. Okay. Image. Save as. Desktop. That can't be 512 pixels, surely. It's a metallic map. That's going to be black, isn't it? Roughness. There we go. Roughness. Maybe there's like a built-in thing. I don't know. I don't know how we did it. It's fine. Checker. What we got? Height. And then we're just going to save as desktop. Boop. Okay. Okay. I guess these are coming as oh, they'll come as Redshift. Okay. Do I want to? Do I want to? Let's just go desktop and then. Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, and then reflections. There's only reflection. I don't know what that's doing, so we'll just get rid of that. Is that my roughness? Yeah, that will be. What's that reflect? Oh, that'll be okay. That'll be metalness, I guess. Okay, weird. Roughness, and then we'll just do that. That'll do for now. Right. Okay, there we go. Look at that. So let's just do Redshift. Oh, I've got it up here now. Redshift IPR. Okay. Well, good enough for now. Let's see. I want to see if my... See, that's enough to work. I'm not going to be doing this. I don't think I'm going to be doing this on stream because, to be honest with you, I just don't want to. But, hey, if you... Did that open? I think it did. Glass cycles. I think it did. Yeah, my internet sucks ass at the minute. Is there anyone watching? There's no one watching. That's just fine. That's just fine and dandy. Let's just close that down. The main thing is, yeah, I've gotten my potato out. That's all I actually need from that scene. And for some reason that's red. But yeah, let's... Oh, what have we got? Wow. What's a missive here? Oh, is there have I embedded a light into it or something? Got a light up here, get rid of that. What are you doing? And then inside potato. Oh wow, there's loads of stuff in here. Okay, so dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. Cube. We love a bit of cube. Oh, there he is. There's cube. Love a bit of cube. That does something. Okay. Oh, the best bit is I like how that doesn't quite connect. Let's just do that. Let's do that. I'll never tell him. We won't tell. Oh shit. Wait, is that? Oh no. Wait. Oh no. There we go. Yeah, we have to tell him all about that. Yeah. Pretty fun. Yeah, so I'm not going to do this on stream, but also, yeah, look at that. Oh, gnarly. That's asking to get redone, isn't it? That's me probably being like, I can't be bothered, I'm doing a Boolean, because I'm not a Boolean guy normally, but I imagine I probably did for this, because I'll be like, I don't want to spend time on it. Where are the rest of these lights then? Hang on, let's just do view. I'm assuming we can filter this view, I guess. Flat tree. No, there's no other lights. That looks like. Oh no, that's right there. Okay, we'll get rid of all of those. There we go. Wow, that's got some nice N64 vibes, right? Is that an actual IIS light? What were these lights doing? What were these doing? So that's going to be... Let's just grab this. Where are you? Oh, I don't know. Oh wait, is that... Where are you? You're up here. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Oh, hello. Dangerous. Yeah, they're doing some stuff. There we go. So we've got fun. We've got some fun PS4 lighting here. PS4, PS1 lighting here. Yeah. And then we've got some busted ass glass. So I'm still sure we put some glass behind here. Ooh, what have we done here? It's always... I always like this, the sort of thing where you go to a file and you're like, I haven't looked at this in quite a while, and I did it half-assedly in the first place. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to redo this, because that That is upsetting. That's bad. The guy who did that should get fired. Right, cool. Let's just turn that off. Right, so did this download? TT checker. What have we got? GLaDOS potato. So do I have that? I have a thing, right, where on this computer, for whatever reason, Explorer runs really slowly and it really struggles to read my hard drive. I have one of these, like, Gen 4 Samsung massively overpriced high-speed SSDs in here. And it's still like, no, I'm going to take 10 seconds to open up Explorer to show you files on a 2 terabyte drive that costs way more than it should have. Hey, let's see. Got Critter. Let's see if it opens. That has loaded. Nice. Yeah, so I've got some lens dirt there. And then what else have I got? So let's decompose this. Some chromatic aberration going in there manually. Yes, I've done manual channel shifting. Yeah, I've done a bit of distortion. There we go. There's the Lux core there. So yeah, that's a lot of what I think. There's a lot more masking on here. Yeah, there's my little Lux core thing, transparency mask. There we go. So that's part of the Lux core thing. Let's just see if we can see the Lux core render. There it is. That's the Lux core render. And you see it's still imperfect. It's still got, like, you know, don't know what's going on there. Hotspots, fireflies, all that kind of stuff. This is kind of fun. And then, yeah. Manual paints. Look at that. Fun, fun, fun. And then we've got the, I think, yeah, maybe I rendered it in cycles without the light on the end or something. I don't actually remember. Oh no, I didn't. I've got a cycles render here. Yeah. But yeah, the lighting is very, I remember the lighting being very underwhelming in this scenario from my headset. But let's build this back up. Boop, 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 boop. I don't use Critter enough. I should use Critter more. I do like it. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go. Have a wonderful whatever time of the day it is where you are. Probably off stream, I'm going to work on this at some point and produce a better, more interesting